Ladies and oh, is it on? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Wofford College Senior Class of 2024, escorted by the Class of 1974.
Students, colleagues, parents, grandparents, family members, and friends, welcome to Wofford College for the commencement of the class of 2024. This is the college's 170th commencement. Graduations are designed to be special and meaningful ceremonies to celebrate each distinctive class. Because this commencement and this class, however, are unique. Because the college experience for the class of 2024 started during the height of the pandemic. In most cases, high school graduations and parties were canceled. Uncertainty and fear replaced celebration and excitement. Activities and events that were routine, advising sessions, fraternity and sorority recruitment, athletics, practices, plays, art shows, meals in Burwell, even going to class, became another challenge for you to overcome. During your orientation as first-year students, you were seated inside this arena, the Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium, but you were separated. As we recalled, we conducted 2 opening orientation sessions so we could put a seat in between each person, and we were all wearing masks. You signed the honor code here. 4 years ago, we were all looking ahead at a time of uncertainty. But even then, we had hope. And now it seems, looking out at all of you and all who love you and support you, our hope was well placed. I know there were times of frustration because of what was missed, and I am so glad that at least we found a way to create a version of the Greystone steak dinner. It's our belief that no one should ever miss that. And I know and share your disappointment that we're holding the ceremony back in here rather than the lawn of Maine. But it is what we do rather than where we are that matters on this day. And on this day, we celebrate you, your accomplishments, and your great resilience. Because the class of 2024 is and will always be a much-loved class at Wofford College, we are especially grateful to be here today to celebrate the lessons learned, the challenges met, the friendships forged, and the success that awaits all of you. Now, the Reverend Margaret R. Canty, Wofford class of 2016, the Associate Pastor for Student Ministry at New Beginnings United Methodist Church in Bowling Springs, South Carolina, will offer the invocation. I will ask you to stand for the invocation, and after the invocation, I ask that you remain standing as Gary McCraw, Professor of Music and a 1977 Wofford graduate, leads us in Wofford's traditional commencement hymn, From All That Dwell Below the Skies. Reverend Canty.
Let us pray. God who rejoices over us, come. Come be with us as we gather this morning in celebration and thanksgiving. Bless this joyous occasion, the work that has gotten these students this far, and those who have loved and supported them into this jubilant moment. God of wisdom, be present with us as we celebrate the call to learn, to grow in understanding, and the call to listen when we do not yet understand. God who knows us. As each student hears their name spoken today, may they hear themselves being affirmed, recognize that they are equipped for what lies ahead, and receive a calling to something bigger than themselves. God who rejoices over us, come. Amen.
From all that dwell below the skies, let the Creator's praise arise. let the Redeemer's name be sung through every land, by every tongue. Eternal are thy mercies, Lord. Eternal truth attends thy word. Thy praise shall sound from shore to shore, till sun shall rise and set no more.
Thank you. Please be seated. It has become a tradition at Wofford to ask a successful alumnus to return as our commencement speaker. What better way to inspire us than to show a beneficiary of the transformational liberal arts educational experience that is distinctive to Wofford College? And I'm particularly excited about today's speaker. He's been a friend and mentor to me and many, many others. He has offered wise counsel not only to Wofford College as a member of the Board of Trustees, but also in chambers and courtrooms across South Carolina as an attorney and member of the judiciary. Retired as Chief Justice of the South Carolina Supreme Court, he now stays busy as a court arbitrator and mediator with Hainsworth Sinclair Boyd. He is frequently called upon as lecturer and speaker, and we have called upon him now to offer the commencement address for the class of 2024. Please welcome the Honorable Costa Placonis, a member of the Wofford College class of 1965, and an outstanding example of what it means to use a Wofford College education to make the world a more just place. Costa?
Thank you, Nathan. I hope the tradition of bringing successful alumni has not been broken today. So President Sam Hatt, Chairman Carpenter, faculty and staff, honored guests, families, friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2024. 59 years ago, almost to the day, I sat with my classmates on the front lawn of Old Main, listening to our commencement speaker and thinking to myself, when will he shut up so we can go to lunch? You at least have your phones to break the monotony. While I remember his name and the fact that he was a prominent alumnus of this college, I cannot recall a single word he said to this day. I am sure his message contained the customary commencement address mix of platitudes, pep talks, and apocalyptic imagery. You know, a blend of banality and fear-mongering. In any event, I hope I don't throw much of that your way today. A half century or so from now, when one of you is standing up here, it will not be important that it won't matter that you don't remember what was said today or who said it. What will matter is your having remembered and applied what you learned in the past 4 years from this distinguished and dedicated faculty. Now, I'm not going to keep you long because I know you're eager to celebrate with your family and friends and embark on the next phase of your life as you leave the comfort zone of your alma mater. Since you're all about to be Wofford grads and educated people, alma mater, as you likely know, is Latin for kindly or nourishing mother. And that is precisely what Wofford has been during your time here. Wofford has nurtured you as a mother would, providing you with the tools you will need to meet the challenges of the deeply riven world outside that gate. Your liberal arts education will serve you well as you navigate a world brimming with turmoil and uncertainty. The British ethologist Richard Dawkins, in a statement that is at once both obvious and insightful, has observed regarding humans in the context of liberal education, no other species has literature, music, art, mathematics, and science. No other species makes complicated machines or books. No other species devotes substantial lengths of time to pursuits that do not directly contribute to survival or reproduction. So the capacity to communicate, to create, to think, and to adapt are the hallmarks of the liberally educated person. These are the skills and capacities Wofford has instilled in you, and you will certainly need them as you exit the nurturing environment and enter the real world. While many forces and positive forces exist in that world, it is increasingly beset by bigotry, incivility, hostility, and by the coarsened rhetoric that accompanies and gives voice to those behaviors. The New York Times columnist David Brooks, in his essay, How America Got Mean, makes a compelling case for how this truculence feeds the corrosive effect those behaviors have on the moral fiber of our nation and the threat they pose to our democratic institutions. Benjamin Franklin, exhibiting the founders' disdain for what they called political factions, now parties, likely foresaw the threat posed by this hostility in his famous colloquy with Elizabeth Powell, who asked, when he emerged from the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787, "Well, doctor, what have we got, a republic or a monarchy?" Franklin's reply, "A republic if you can keep it," bespoke his assessment of the fragility of our nascent governing form. He knew that democratic republics are dependent upon the people's involvement and support. Involvement, in turn, requires us to treat one another with dignity and respect if we are to effect the desired goal of keeping our democracy. Nearly 200 years after Franklin's assessment, Jean Monnet, the architect of the recovery of post-World War II Europe, famously observed, "Nothing is possible without men and women. Nothing lasts without institutions." Both Franklin and Monnet were aware that democratic institutions and the rule of law, which is its underpinning, have been, are, and forever will be under threat from those who seek to undermine them in their lust for power for the sake of power. We see it on the world stage in Russia and in Hungary and other Soviet bloc nations. In our own country, we see, among other things, politically inspired deceit and hostility and the dysfunctional governing bodies. In that respect, Congress would qualify as Exhibit A. Democratic institutions, whether the judiciary, the free press, and even our colleges and universities, are under attack. If these institutions and the others which make our nation exceptional are to last under Monnet's formulation, it will be in part because an educated populace, respectful of the humanity of others, has pushed back against the forces that imperil their existence. Your generation has the awesome responsibility of preserving, protecting, and defending not only the Constitution, but to the republic it created. And that's an awesome task, especially in view of the world that my generation and those between us have left you. You will, I am hopeful, be successful in that task in your involvement, and by utilizing the tools you have acquired in your educational process or experience, both here and beyond. You can do so by shining a light on the rampant deceit and misinformation daily delivered on cable and social media. God knows what AI is going to do to us. By engaging in civil, not hostile and rancorous discourse, by listening thoughtfully to points of view that do not comport with your own, and by recognizing that there may be virtue in those opposing points of view, even adopting those cogent and thoughtful positions that at first gave you discomfort. While you don't necessarily have to like the people whose views don't sync with your own, it helps. You must be willing to at least be respectful in your dealings with them. In that regard, we can take a cue from the Latin motto of South Carolina's flagship public university down the road in Columbia. It has many translations, but the one I prefer is as follows. The it being education, refines the manners and does not permit one to become rude. Would that it were universally so. And I urge you to help fulfill its promise. You can do so and still be resolute in advancing your own positions. And while you're about your task of making the world a better place, do not fall prey to what Robert Zimmer, Chancellor Emeritus of the University of Chicago, has referenced as the trap of self-deceit. The trap, essentially speaking, is the ease of self-delusion. Zimmer was perhaps channeling the Greek philosopher orator Demosthenes, who observed 3,000 years earlier that the wish is parent to the thought, and that is why nothing is easier than self-deceit. In short, what a person wishes to be true, they also believe to be true. The ease of self-deceit underlies the divisiveness and unprincipled contentiousness that pervade everyday life in our country. It is this self-delusion that causes people of one worldview or another to believe everything they see and hear on their favored cable or social media misinformation source. It's easier to succumb to this confirmation bias than to examine and appreciate points of view not necessarily compatible with your own preconceptions. Overcoming self-deceit takes conscious effort and hard work. The good news is that's precisely what your Wofford education has freed your mind to do. And a freed mind is, after all, the effect of a liberal arts education. You can, and I am confident you will, make a positive difference. The empowerment of your education will help enable you to do so. Know, too, that in addition to the forces that seek to undermine our democracy, there are those that fight to preserve it. Join them and get involved. Involvement cannot be overstressed. Get involved, as Franklin urged. The responsibility for effecting constructive change in this world belongs to you, not to somebody else. Do not abdicate that responsibility. Remember, too, the words of President Lincoln, who observed in another time when our nation was so deeply divided, "We are not enemies, but friends. Though passion may have strained, it must not break the bonds of our affection. The mystic chords of memory will swell when they are touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature." Lincoln knew in that dark and deeply divided era that we must not allow factions, again as they referred to them then, to define and divide us. His prescience is borne out in today's world where both poles of the traditional political ideological spectrum are increasingly defined by their extremes. I will leave it to you to determine in your own mind who is winning the wacko derby. Bridging those extremes will be difficult, and doing so will require your involvement with others who do not share your views or backgrounds. The simple act of engaging with someone who is not like you can be more positive and productive than you may think. Now, I'd suggest starting out small. Don't go to a biker bar and engage with a guy named Snake who has neck and face tattoos. Maybe start off with somebody with another political party or another religion. Disdaining extremes in all forms, some 2,500 years ago before Lincoln, Socrates observed, "All things in moderation, including moderation." That's good advice, and it exhausts my supply of quotations from dead Greeks. Remember, too, that everything is not gloom and doom. As Alexis de Tocqueville, the author of Democracy in America, observed, "The greatness of America lies not in being more enlightened than other nations, but rather in her ability to repair her faults." He knew that our republic, for all its flaws, operates under the greatest governance model in human history. And make no mistake, America remains great. It's up to you to help keep it that way. Listen to Demosthenes, Franklin, Socrates, and to the voices of Lincoln's better angels. So whether for you the next step is graduate school, the workforce, the military, or just some time off to travel, enjoy today with your family and friends. You have accomplished much and you have endured much in the past 4 years. You have been exposed to and have survived both COVID-19 and the tedium of a seemingly endless string of Taylor Swift's relationships. That alone should have earned you this celebratory time. Tomorrow is soon enough to begin the task of shoring up the moral compass of the world. When you get around to doing that, never forget that it was your alma mater that gave you the wherewithal to make it possible. Return often to your kindly mother and support her with your time and with your treasure. I wish you all the happiness that life can bring. Congratulations, and go Terriers.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift lately, and as has my seminar. So now we'll begin presenting awards and degrees. Mr. Christopher Carpenter, Chairman of the Wofford College Board of Trustees, Dr. Timothy Schmitz, Provost, and Ms. Jennifer Allison, College Registrar, will assist in issuing these awards and degrees. Wofford College is one of a select group of colleges and universities authorized by the New York Southern Society to annually convey the Algernon Sidney Sullivan and Mary Mildred Sullivan Awards. The Sullivans moved from the South to New York during the mid-19th century and built distinguished careers. They became symbols of the highest standards of humanity and achievement, and their friends established these awards as a tribute. The Sullivan Awards have been an essential part of Wofford commencement proceedings since the late 1960s. One of the recipients of each award must be a student, the other a non-student, but a person with some interest in or association with the college. The awards recognize individuals whose nobility of character and service sets them apart as examples to all. We will recognize the non-student recipients first. Student marshals, please escort Ruth Littlejohn and Craig Burnett to the podium as the 2024 Mary Mildred and Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award winners. Let me read it first and then. There is no corner of the Spartanburg community that City Councilwoman Ruth Littlejohn has not touched and, in doing so, improved. She serves on the board of the League of Women Voters, the South Converse Neighborhood Board of Directors, Partners for Active Living, and Keep One Spartanburg Beautiful. She models what it means to be a lifelong learner, attending many speakers and arts and cultural events here at the college, and we appreciate her continued involvement and dedication to our community. Thank you. Craig Burnett, Wofford class of 1968, is known throughout the community and the nation as a leading expert in the area of homelessness, specifically devoting his life and energy to assisting homeless military veterans. He served in the U.S. Army as an infantry platoon leader, company commander, and military advisor before joining the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs as a psychologist. He's been a friend to the college, helping current students understand the importance of leadership through service. Congratulations to you both. We are grateful for your commitment as servant leaders in the greater Spartanburg community and beyond, and appreciate the example you have set for us all. Thank you. Next, I ask that the student marshals escort to the stage this year's Mary Mildred Sullivan and Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipients from the class of 2024, Arnice Nevia Wright and Jackson Barrett Galbraith. Wright is a biology major and sociology and anthropology minor from Charleston, South Carolina. She has been involved in Campus Union, Wofford Women of Color, Minorities in STEM, and as a volunteer at the Cleveland Leadership Academy. She plans to become a genetic counselor after graduation. Jack Galbraith is a biology major from Asheville, North Carolina, who has served as president of the Intrafraternity Council and as a Career Center ambassador. And he begins dental school after graduation. Both Arnice and Jack have led the Wofford community by example and honor our college and their class and the Sullivans by allowing us to recognize them. Congratulations. It is now my privilege to present the Philip Covington Award for Excellence in the Teaching of the Humanities and Social Sciences. Wofford College devotes all of its resources to a single undertaking, the teaching and learning of undergraduates. This award, now presented for 18 years, is named after a beloved longtime professor and academic dean. It carries with it a $15,000 award allocated over a period of 3 years, designed specifically to provide further opportunities for professional development. It is with great pleasure that I invite Dr. Kimberly Hall to the platform. Dr. Hall is an associate professor of English who teaches courses in the film and digital media program. She has spent the past year chairing the college's Artificial Intelligence Working Group. We are one of the few institutions doing such a thing among liberal arts colleges in this country, and she is known as a dynamic professor and advocate for students. Congratulations. This year, for the 20th time, Wofford College is pleased to award the Roger Milliken Award for Excellence in the Teaching of Science. The recipient receives an award of $50,000 allocated over a decade, designed to provide opportunities for professional development. Roger Milliken served on the Wofford College Board of Trustees for 48 years, and he established the award to reward the caliber of teachers we have here at Wofford. The 2024 recipient of the Roger Milliken Award for the Excellence in the Teaching of Science is Dr. Natalie Spivey, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Biology. Dr. Spivey is an invaluable resource to the students who are planning careers in healthcare, advising students in co-teaching the clinical internships and medicine course. She is known for making even the toughest subjects interesting and for her unfailing commitment to student success. Congratulations.
Of great significance at a college like ours is the departure of colleagues who have shared our labors on campus and in the classroom for many years. When I call your name, please stand in the faculty section so that we can all thank you for your work as teachers, mentors, and scholars. Dr. Alan Chalmers, professor of English, has served the college for 19 years. Dr. John MacArthur, Reeves Professor, has taught economics at Wofford for 34 years. Dr. Bob Moss, Larry H. McCullough Professor of Biology, has taught at Wofford for 32 years. Professor Gary McCraw, Professor of Music and a 1977 Wofford graduate, has served the college for 42 years. And Dr. Lee Ching Kennison, Professor of Chinese, has spent 20 years in service to Wofford College. The Board of Trustees voted at its spring meeting to grant them emeritus status. Again, thank you to our retirees. We applaud your combined 147 years of service to the college.
It is now the college's distinct privilege to award honorary degrees to 3 distinguished individuals and friends of Wofford College. Provost Schmitz will make these presentations, and in each case, the recipients are sponsored by members of the Wofford community.
Will faculty sponsor Dr. Aaron Harp please escort Ms. Betty James Montgomery to the platform? Betty Montgomery's hands reach deep into the soil of the Carolinas, especially in Spartanburg and at Wofford College. A master gardener and author, she has been both a teacher and lifelong learner. Hydrangeas are her passion, and she and her late husband, Walter, have traveled the world exploring plants. Betty completed 12 years of service on the Wofford College Board of Trustees in 2022. As a trustee, she supported faculty and staff efforts to create a sustainability program on campus and was an advocate for adding a commitment to sustainability to the college's core values. She has always been a staunch advocate for the student experience, representing trustees on the biannual committee to revise student policies. The Montgomery Music Building on campus is just one example of her generosity and the generosity of her family. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Ms. Betty James Montgomery so that you may confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Betty James Montgomery, in recognition of your good character and attainments, and on behalf of the faculty and trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Will faculty sponsor Dr. Jamaica Hill please escort Dr. Daniel B. Morrison, Jr. to the platform? No one knows more about Wofford College athletics in the modern era than Danny Morrison. From NAIA to NCAA Division I success, he helped develop the college's brand and commitment to the student-athlete model. Danny joined the Wofford community in 1971 as a first-year student and student-athlete on the men's basketball team. A mathematics major, his work ethic earned him the respect of his professors and coaches alike. And he was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa before graduating summa cum laude from Wofford College in 1975. Danny returned to Wofford in 1985 as Director of Athletics. He has served as Commissioner of the Southern Conference and President of the NFL's Carolina Panthers, and is now both a Professor of Practice in the Department of Sports and Entertainment Management at the University of South Carolina and the Director of the Charlotte Sports Foundation. Danny served on the Wofford College Board of Trustees from 2011 to 2023. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Dr. Daniel B. Morrison, Jr., so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Dr. Daniel B. Morrison, Jr., in recognition of your good character and attainments, and on behalf of the faculty and trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Will faculty sponsor Dr. Elisa Handelsman please escort Mr. Tony L. Thomas to the platform? What does it mean to be a good neighbor? There's no one better to answer that question than Tony Thomas. Born in Spartanburg, Tony lives, works, and serves in the Northside community adjacent to Wofford. In doing so, he has made it his mission to support collaboration and community-based learning between Wofford and its Northside neighbors. He has been a teacher, mentor, role model, and friend to Wofford students, faculty, and staff, guiding us all as we learn more about our shared community. Tony was a leader in the development of the Northside's transformation plan, and he continues to serve as president of the Northside Voyagers and the Northside Neighborhood Association. That work includes supporting the Cradle to Career model for the Northside neighborhood, an initiative that has seen results in the Cleveland Academy of Leadership's first excellent state report card rating. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Mr. Tony L. Thomas so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Tony L. Thomas, in recognition of your good character and attainments, and on behalf of the faculty and trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations. I would now like to recognize Wofford College students who were commissioned yesterday as second lieutenants in the U.S. Army. I have no doubt that these servant leaders will make Wofford College proud. Please stand while I call your name, and when all newly commissioned officers are standing, please join me in applauding their commitment. George Carl Anderson. Yasmin Chavez Medina. John Dean Gaskins, and Jason Alexander Kellinger. Thank you. Provost Schmitz will now announce the 2004 honor graduates and present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees. This graduation exercise also includes those who completed their work in December 2023 and some who will complete their program of study during the next few months. Some degrees will be conferred in absentia.
The honor graduate, or in this case, 10 honor graduates at Wofford College, must be intelligent, disciplined, and committed to working hard each and every day. Such is the nature of the academic enterprise at a Phi Beta Kappa liberal arts college. Each of this year's honor graduates earned a 4.0 grade point average. Please stand in your seat when I call your name so that we can recognize you. Olivia Barrett Babb. Sarah Ann Buford. Tucker Hutchins Couch. Matthew Philip U. Descaya. Alice Austin Givens. Meredith Estelle Hoff. Taylor Nikita Pertima. Julia Marie Richardson. Alec Cade Schrader, and David Shub Sharma. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the 2024 honor graduates at Wofford College. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and the degree of Bachelor of Science please stand? Mr. President, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science have been duly instructed and examined by the faculty and have been found worthy. On behalf of the faculty, I present them to you for the conferring of their appropriate degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of South Carolina, and upon the completion of all graduation requirements, with the recommendation of the faculty and the approval of the Board of Trustees of Wofford College, I confer upon each of you, as appropriate to your course of study, the degree of Bachelor of Arts and/or the degree of Bachelor of Science. Thank you.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please come forward individually to receive their diplomas? As is a tradition at Wofford College, I ask the audience to withhold expressions of congratulations until the entire group has been recognized. Anna Catherine Alexander. Tatiana Arango. Alexis Abigail Atkins. Olivia Barrett Babb, summa cum laude. Michael Hubert Baker III. Charlotte Cynthia Barker, magna cum laude. Harriet Virginia Barr, cum laude. Joseph Wyatt Barkowiak. Adam Hainsworth Bennett, cum laude. Robert Carl Bernard. Allie Elizabeth Bigham, magna cum laude. Matthew David Bishop, magna cum laude. Dixon Peter Black, magna cum laude. Emma Lee Blackstone. James Carter Bogan III, summa cum laude. Jessica Monet Branham, summa cum laude. Sarah Helen Buckmaster, summa cum laude. Audrey Catherine Buffington, summa cum laude. Paris Noel Burgess, cum laude. Anna Claire Bird. William Childs Canty IV. Cameron Hayden Karsten, cum laude, honors in philosophy. Margaret Wilder Chandler, cum laude. Yasmin Chavez Medina. John Andrew Clark, cum laude. Madison Elizabeth Coletta, summa cum laude. Ethan Todd Cornell. Bryce Owen Coriston. Abby Nicole Crawford. Olivia Paige Culver, cum laude. Claire Elizabeth Cummings, cum laude. Sterling Graydon Davies Jr., cum laude. Jesse Lee Delgado. Lucy Elizabeth Derrick, magna cum laude. John Michael Di Roberto. Caroline Renee Das, summa cum laude. Logan James Easler. Gavin Ori Eldridge. Abigail Catherine Ellett, summa cum laude. Jeanne Katrina Escobar, magna cum laude. Madison Carrier Fike. Griffin Brady Fix. Carolyn Pearson Fuller. Anthony Louis Garcia Jr. Alexandra Nelson Gardner, summa cum laude. Tavian Isaiah Gath, in absentia. Margaret Grace Genoble, cum laude. Maya Lane Gentleman, magna cum laude. Alice Austin Givens, summa cum laude. Dewan Christopher Green. Ellis James Green, cum laude. Sarah Ashley Greenlee, cum laude. Catherine Reynolds Grice. Bryce Michael Haig. Isabella Grace Hall. Michael Banks Handy Sr., in absentia. Jacqueline Aquin Hansen, magna cum laude. Christopher Thomas Hartley. Olivia Bett Hartley, magna cum laude. Dylan Bryce Herbert, in absentia. Henry Leo Hill, summa cum laude. Bailey Reed Hillen, cum laude. David Jacob Holcomb. Janet Mary Holacek, summa cum laude. Derek Alec Holt. Alexander Reza Horn, magna cum laude. Delson Kurt Jaco. Jasmine Nicole Jefferson. Kate Elizabeth Johnson, summa cum laude. Rachel Kate Johnson, summa cum laude. Walton Marion Jolly, magna cum laude. Leslie Paul Jones, Jr. Murphy Paul Khalil. Briggs Willis Kearse. McGregor West Kellett. Jason Alexander Kellinger. William David Kennedy, summa cum laude. Jacob Nathaniel Kimbrell. Laura Elizabeth Kirk, cum laude. Catherine Brecky Koulis, magna cum laude. Jake Matthew Lalamondier. Sebastian Enau Latour, cum laude. Anthony Gerald Latani, Jr. David Shawan Leggett, in absentia. Joshua Charles Lipscomb, magna cum laude. William Tobin Locke. Mason Gilliam Lytle. Jay Martin. Jackson Bedford Martochia. Robert Lane Mashburn. William Carson McCorkle. Mary Ellison McCoy, cum laude. Sailor Jane McCutcheon. Benton Stokes McElveen. Jackson Rory McNicholas. William Light Kinney McNeil. John Bailey Means. Ryan David Mathot, magna cum laude. Jeremy Ryan Michaud, in absentia. Carson Rebecca Miller. Madison Aaliyah Miller, magna cum laude. Emerson Heron Mitchell. Emily Elizabeth Monteverde, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Grace Montgomery. Tristan Garnett Moore. Harrison Dodge Morgan. Cameron Townsend Morris. Amelia June Molenberg, cum laude. Connor Paul Murphy. Andrew James Newport, in absentia. Francis Kimball Knoll, cum laude. Isabella Sunshine Ortiz Calzada. Kelly Nicole Overlees. Sydney Patterson Parton, magna cum laude. Adeline Elise Patterson, cum laude. Carolyn Grant Payne, magna cum laude. Bryce Nathaniel Peacock. Walker Rhodes Pendarvis, magna cum laude. Sandri Alexis Vera Perez. Ryan Joseph Poole, cum laude. Catherine English Rand, in absentia. Marissa Victoria Randolph, cum laude. Rachel Morgan Razins, in absentia. Nicholas McLean Rawlinson, magna cum laude. Evans Reese Rawls, magna cum laude. Anthony Kyle Reese, cum laude. Davis Oakley Richards. Julia Marie Richardson, summa cum laude, high honors in religion. John Braden Rismani, Sr. Eliza Evans Roddy, cum laude. Julie Margaret Roderick, summa cum laude. Madeline Grace Ross, summa cum laude. Matthew Lee Scarborough, Jr., cum laude. Anna Rush Schultz, summa cum laude. Jackson Boone Shelley. Christopher Joseph Shepard III. Avery Catherine Smith, summa cum laude. Charles Henry Smith IV. Kirsten Elizabeth Smith. Creighton Montgomery Sparks. Anna Cecile Stoos, cum laude. Lauren Olivia Ann Strange, magna cum laude. Hannah Paloma Suarez, cum laude. Jason Stewart Swan, Jr., cum laude in absentia. Rachel Murphy Thornton. Anna Lee Trout, summa cum laude. Samuel Miles Tucker. Karina Faye Vandenberg, summa cum laude in absentia. Garrett Riley Vernon. Cameron Joseph Victor. Eleanor Wilbanks Walter. Maria Isabella Warlick, in absentia. Rebecca Lynn Watson, cum laude. Holden Campbell Wilder. Zachary Thomas Williams. Addison Doyle Witkowski. Catherine Enders Walcott. James Ryan Wolf. Brandy Rose Wiley, summa cum laude. Isabella Ann Yeager. Elizabeth Michelle Young, summa cum laude. We will now present the candidates for the dual degrees, Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Holland Lauren Anderson, cum laude. Andrew Sims Ahrens, cum laude. Cecil Elikim Asimenu. Anna Carolyn Barnett. Samantha Danielle Carter, magna cum laude. Sarah Michelle Childers, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Ann Gavin, summa cum laude. Kyle Aiden Jenkins, summa cum laude. Margaret Virginia Matthews, magna cum laude. Grayson Parker McDowell, summa cum laude, high honors in physics. Michaela Porcher Peoples, summa cum laude. Morgan Blair Roberts, cum laude. Christine Ellen Shaw, magna cum laude. Leslie Ortiz Vargas. Elizabeth Yefremov. We will now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Della Elizabeth Aby. Joseph Clark Adams. Julia Rose Aho, cum laude. Griffin Edward Albright, cum laude. Rahi Rajesh Amin, summa cum laude. George Carl Anderson. Natalie Elizabeth Anderson. Jesse Carson Thomas Archie, cum laude. Mary Neve Arnold. William Thomas Atwell, summa cum laude. Madeline May Ayers, cum laude. Babatunde Olawashon Balogun. Shaden Avery Bankston. Sarah Gail Barham. Tanner Malik Barnes, in absentia. Allison Margaret Bartlett, summa cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Bashaw. Elliot Andrew Basil. Grayson William Bateman. Johnston Carter Bauer. John Scott Beach, Jr. Garrett Casey Bemberis. Sophia Maria Bayer, magna cum laude. Kathleen Ada Bridges Bickerstaff, cum laude. Mary Lila Blackburn, cum laude. James Brian Blackwelder, Jr. Lydia Miriam Bloodworth, cum laude. Ryan Eliana Boone. Francis Barton Boydo, cum laude. John Stearns Boyles. Stephen William Bradley. Elena Marie Brumall. Henry Merwin Brown, in absentia. Sarah Ann Buford, summa cum laude. Kelsey Quinn Burke. Paul Patrick Joseph Burns, summa cum laude. Andrew Philip Calhoun, cum laude. Ignacio Camps. Anna Holt Kaplis, cum laude. Duncan Scott Carling. Victoria Marata Vickers Cash. Wallace Fillmore Chapman, cum laude. John Davison Chastain. Kayla Melissa Chavez. Fen Chen, magna cum laude. William Ogden Clark. Cameron Reed Clark, cum laude. Mackenzie Lee Clinch. Lillian Kennedy Cochran, cum laude. Caroline Elizabeth Connor, cum laude. Katie Lynn Connerly. Patricia Kendall Cosper, magna cum laude. Tucker Hutchins Couch, summa cum laude. Josiah Samaj Cromer, in absentia. Anna Catherine Dacier, in absentia. Connell Patrick Daly. William Roy Davenport. Haley Calla Davis, magna cum laude. Jordan Anthony Davis. Alexis River Deloach, summa cum laude. Thaddeus Michael Dennis. Avery Scott Dew. Jacob Nicholas Dixon, cum laude. Matthew Philip U. Discaya, summa cum laude. Cameron Russell Dixon. Mila Lee Dockendorf. Peyton Quinn Drake. Dylan Mark Droz. Tyler Charles Edwards. William Middleton Edwards, magna cum laude. Michael Allen Eggert. Kaylin Marie Eamon, summa cum laude. Ella Francis Lowe, cum laude. John Elliott Epps, summa cum laude. Cassandra Diane Figueroa, magna cum laude. Ellis Daniel Finley. George Hamilton Fisher. Laura Candler Fontaine. Addison Delaney Foote, cum laude. Sarah Christina Francini, magna cum laude. Benjamin Aaron Friedman, cum laude. Robert McConnell Freeland. Rebecca Marie Frelin. Taylor Jada Fuller. William Dunn Follett, magna cum laude. Barrett Bridges Funderburk, summa cum laude. Jackson Barrett Galbraith, magna cum laude. Christopher Derland Gant, cum laude. John Dean Gaskins, Jr. Kate Mackenzie Gertson. Riley Bulwer Geddes. Townsend Hughes Gillespie. Lauren Evan Gilmer, in absentia. Kathleen Grayson Glenn, cum laude. Madison Lee Glidden, cum laude. Benjamin Lawrence Gowdy. Joshua Hunt Graff, summa cum laude. William Nettles Green, Jr. Benjamin Smith Greaves. Carson Jarek Harrell, cum laude. Lauren Ruth Harrell, cum laude. Elena Faith Hartman. Thomas Dylan Hartnett. Annie Rose Heisel, magna cum laude. Abigail Lynn Heeman, magna cum laude. Jillian Rebecca Hethcox, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Perry Hildebrandt. Emily Ann Hodgson. Meredith Estelle Hoff, summa cum laude, high honors in chemistry. Lindsay Murphy Hollis, magna cum laude. Douglas Jackson Horn, cum laude. Taylor Jeffrey Horowitz, summa cum laude. Elizabeth McGill Huff, cum laude. Margaret Ann Hughes, cum laude. Mattia Janae Jackson, in absentia. Davin Cassidy Johnson, cum laude. Gunnar Wynn Johnson. Seth Wilkins Johnson. Donovan Kendall Jones, summa cum laude. Harold Bradford Jones III. Riley Catherine Jones, cum laude. Michael Rankin Jopling, cum laude. John William Jordan. William John Yurchak, magna cum laude. Emily Frederick Kars, cum laude. Ella Kensley Katrash, cum laude. Jessica May Kaufman, cum laude. Sage Sadesh Kadar. Zara Lauren Kadar, cum laude. Alexandra Akins Keels, summa cum laude. Mira Joy Kelly, summa cum laude. Alexandra Lee Kenyon. Jerry Allen Kearns, Jr. Harrison Freeman Kilgus, cum laude. Stephanie Lauren Knight. Caroline Narala Soar, in absentia. Madison Noel Catilla, summa cum laude. Aiden Micah Vaughn Langston Smith, cum laude. Matthew Durant Larkin, in absentia. Samantha Renee Laycock. Caitlin Carter Lee. Aubrey Grace Lindsay, cum laude. Emily Ryan Locklear. Millicent Elizabeth Lair, cum laude. Evangeline Grace Lutz, magna cum laude. James Jacob Madden, cum laude. Mary Abigail Malinuk. Ashley Taylor Manigault. Jacob Chapman Mann, Jr. Alexis K. Mapplebeck, cum laude. Dominic James Marcocchio. Miles Hunter Marks, in absentia. Addison Taylor Marlette, cum laude. Bryce Matthew Martinez. Andrew Michael Mason. Taylor O'Neill Mason, summa cum laude. William McCarty Massey. William Andrew Mastrone, summa cum laude. Devin Elijah Matthews. Haley Rune McCaffrey, cum laude. Emma K. McDermott, summa cum laude. Emma Catherine McLean, magna cum laude. Margaret Ann McLeod. Madeline Rose McNinch. Derek Tyler McPherson. Mary Jane Meyer, cum laude. William Henderson Michalak. Anthony Ahmad Miles, summa cum laude. Philip Bayman Minges. Anne Elise Moody, cum laude. Gracie Isabella Moore. John Bailey Moore. Isabel McNair Morphus. Gray Sullivan Morris. Jane Ellison Morris. Mary Catherine Moyd, cum laude. Mark Dolan Mudd, Jr. Harold Worgan Muir IV, cum laude. Daniel Patrick Murphy III, cum laude. John Wesley Neal, in absentia. Davis Myers Newman, summa cum laude. Nolan Alexander Nicholson, cum laude. Carter Andrew Nicoletti. Eric Vadim Nikolaisen, cum laude. Gabrielle Elise Inez Niles. Julia Michon Nuss, cum laude. Cedric Wilhelm Otten, cum laude. Janvi Jayesh Patel. John Wright Picard, magna cum laude. Peter McNeil Pierpoint. Taylor Nikita Pertima, summa cum laude. Panarea Marie Panaris. David Christopher Powers. Grayson Rhodes Price. Rebecca Maris Privet, cum laude. Warren Stewart Proper, magna cum laude. Mary Andress Puckett, cum laude. Miller Catherine Putnam, cum laude. Macy Elizabeth Rabin, cum laude. Abigail Noel Race, summa cum laude. Marlon Ramirez Alvarado. Richard Ash Ray. Anna Grace Reeves, summa cum laude. Trevor Reese Reininger, cum laude. Jack Bradley Renwick. Jose Adolfo Reyes, Jr. Abby Lee Richmond. Thomas Atkinson Roberts III, magna cum laude. Titasia Egyptiana Robinson. Benjamin Stafford Sale, summa cum laude. Diane Lee Sanders, magna cum laude. Sadie Rome Saunders, cum laude. Lauren Michelle Scalise, magna cum laude. Elise Sophia Schneider, cum laude. Alec Cade Schrader, summa cum laude. Annabelle Elaine Schultz. Vanya Valiera Scott, cum laude. Talia Iris Salembo, cum laude. Christopher Andrew Sellers, summa cum laude. David Shub Sharma, summa cum laude. Devin John Schartz. David Barnwell Sheely, cum laude. Edward August Sheehan. Hannah Elizabeth Shelley. Mallory Abigail Shannon. Luke Cleveland Shores. Emerson Lee Segan, cum laude. Rowan Lane Sims, cum laude. Sebastian Lee Sisk, summa cum laude. Emma Corey Skelton. Harrison Toy Smith. Isabella Stegner Smith. Jeray LaShawn Smith. William Van Smith III, summa cum laude. Carson Brianna Soulsby, magna cum laude. Charles Quinn Soper, cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Spears. Catherine Rose Spence, in absentia. Garrett David Steck, Jr., cum laude. Elizabeth Morgan Stiegel, cum laude. Renee Elise Stempert, summa cum laude. Mary Martha Stokes, magna cum laude. Samuel Cooper Stratton. Zachary Fellman Strell, cum laude. Mary Patterson King Suggs, cum laude. Meredith Grace Sullivan. James Buchanan Sumner. Abigail Lane Sutherland, summa cum laude. McKenna Jean Zemley. Rafal Zamansky. Brody Christian Taylor. Devin Sierra Taylor, magna cum laude. Spencer McCartney Taylor, Jr., summa cum laude. Caitlin Irene Toma. Aaron Jatavis Thomas. Murray McEwen Thompson, cum laude. Porter McCabe Thompson, cum laude. Curtis Jamal Tillman. Kelsey Nicole Toole. Christopher Whitten Treve, cum laude. Godwins Tuyashime, magna cum laude. Samuel Walker Vincent. Isaiah Hasten Wadsworth, in absentia. Caroline Cole Watson, cum laude. Ryan Patrick Watson, magna cum laude. James Lawrence Welch, Jr. Olivia Vance Weller, summa cum laude. Claudia Pearl White. Catherine Ford Whitlatch. Frederick Markland Whitaker III, cum laude. Peyton Jeanette Wilkie. Michaela Maria Williams, in absentia. Okay. Sydney Elizabeth Williams, cum laude. Elizabeth Ellis Witherington, cum laude. Allison Clark Wood, cum laude. Cameron Alexander Woolery, cum laude. Arnice Nevea Wright.
Well, the first thing I'd say is I have the same number of parking tickets up here as the class of 2024 got this year. So, and we're going to pay our fine. I don't think it's just me, it's got to be my wife too, Prema, you know. So we're going to pay the fine into the scholarship you guys created this year, and we presented at Honors Convocation. So thank you. Now, class of 2024, please stand. And let's recognize the class of 2024. Flip your tassels, flip your tassels. Okay, now you can sit down. Let's recognize a few other folks here. Can all the parents and the family and the friends stand up so the class of 2024 can recognize you? And can all the faculty and staff and coaches who are here please stand up so the class of 2024 can recognize you as well. So congratulations, class of 2024, and I just want to leave you with a few thoughts. An essay I read some time back always stuck with me. It was by Leonard Mlodinov, an author and a physicist, and it was titled, "It is, in fact, rocket science." The gist is that the simple stories of discovery, an apple falling on Isaac Newton's head, or Charles Darwin's conclusions on evolution after studying finches on the Galapagos Islands, belie not only the reality of the process of discovery, but the richness and complexity of the process itself. Because too often we read stories of successful people in business, science, the academy, humanities, and on and on. And those stories often offer up a moment where someone becomes successful, whatever that might mean. Those short stories can deprive us of the true meaning of discovery. The hard work, the struggle, time, failure, commitment to what it takes to be successful in whatever you may do. And to be sure, success is not measured by money, but by your sense of fulfillment in life. For some, that may be measured in money. In others, it may be measured in the care exercised for others, for transforming lives through teaching and service, raising a family, and I can go on and on. It's important that you be alert to your sense of fulfillment, a sense which will surely change over the years. Life is rich, it is complex, and its process is one to be savored at every moment, whether good or bad. So, number one, aspire. Want to do or be. Direct a vision of your life, knowing full well that it will be complex, yet it will also be rich. And because it will most likely not be a straight upward line of great success, but one with dips and sometimes deep dips, I offer number two, and that is persevere. Because it is precisely the ups and downs that we all experience that life is rich and complex. Every story of success, no matter what that term may mean to you, is shaped by perseverance, by the determination to confront adversity, not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an opportunity. And it is easy to say, I know, but we have all lived through that kind of adversity, and you are here today, 4 years later. You can do it. And finally, have empathy. A sense of compassion, kindness, and understanding for others is essential to the fabric of a good society. It's also the essential fabric of our humanity. For others whose life circumstance is different than your own, no matter what that circumstance might be, socioeconomic, cultural, racial, religious, sexual orientation, others are deserving of our empathy precisely because they are individuals like you and me. And one day you may find yourself in need of that same empathy from others. So carry on from Wofford today and know that this is your home on this beautiful campus. Come back often, reconnect with friends and family and the memories and mentors who have guided, supported, and educated and lived with you for the past 4 years. Congratulations, class of 2024. Following the benediction by the Reverend Dr. Ronald R. Robinson, Perkins Prothro Chaplain and Professor of Religion and a 1978 graduate of Wofford, please remain standing as Professor McCraw leads us in the singing of the alma mater. The faculty, platform party, and honorary degree recipients will recess first, through which the graduates will pass. Class of 2024, please follow the marshals and make our way out. Thank you very much. Reverend Mount.
Please stand for the benediction. Class of 2024, go from here to serve your God and your neighbor in all that you do. And may those to whom love is a stranger find in each and every one of you a very generous friend. Amen.
city's northern border reared against the sky, proudly stands our alma mater as the years go by. May it ever be our watchword, conquer and prevail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, dear old Wofford.